Contrails are long white streaks we sometimes see trailing behind aircraft. The word contrail is short for condensation trails, and they form when hot, humid jet exhaust mixes with the extremely cold air high in the atmosphere. The sudden temperature drop causes the water vapor to condense onto tiny soot and sulfate particles in the exhaust. Almost instantly, these droplets freeze into ice crystals. Depending on the humidity and temperature around the plane, contrails can look very different. In dry air, they're short-lived and fade away within seconds. In more humid air, they can persist as a narrow, bright line stretching across the sky. In very humid or unstable conditions, they can spread out, forming wispy cirrus-like clouds that sometimes cover large areas. Some trails are even formed by wingtip vortices, which are caused by pressure changes rather than engine exhaust. You'll often notice contrails appearing in straight lines, crisscrossing grids, or even curves and spirals depending on flight paths and wind patterns. They can also start and stop abruptly as aircraft moves through pockets of varying moisture. While they're mostly a visual reminder of air travel, persistent contrails can trap heat and have a small measurable warming effect. As a result, new tools are being developed to help pilots avoid regions where long-lasting contrails are most likely to form.